Hey everybody, Baldoric here. Since the Resplendent outfit for Eliwood came out today, I thought it'd be a great idea to talk about some builds, how you may want to actually build this hero, even whether you just got him right now at 5 stars with the Resplendent version, whether you built him for a long time, you're thinking of how do I use this hero, or maybe you just want some kind of new red sword cavalry unit to use, and maybe Eliwood is one you're looking at. Now, Eliwood has a couple variants in this game, but surprisingly, the base kit, his normal form, like not even like legendary or anything like that, is honestly one of his absolute best. This buff that he's getting with the Resplendent armor makes him even better. Now, note in this video, as of today, 4/25/2020, he is out. He was just released, the Resplendent hero, but the artwork isn't updated on Unit Builder, so I can't add in the Resplendent buff or the artwork for it. So please keep in mind the Resplendent buff is +2 to all stats. So whatever you're seeing a build, just imagine there was +2 to everything here. And that is what the Resplendent will add to these builds. So, and if you don't know what the artwork looks like, I have at least the special of the artwork over there on the right-hand side. Now, in case you don't know, he does have 2 weapon refines, but the one I'm going to talk about today is Blazing Durandal. Let's talk about what that does. So it grants attack +3. If unit initiates combat, it grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. That's like a mix of Heavy Blade and Guard, which is really awesome. If unit initiates combat, grant speed +7 and defense +10 during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So when he initiates combat, he's getting a large stat boost, he is getting a special cooldown reduction, and he is making it so that the foe does not get their specials off on him. Really one of the most fantastic weapons in this game. It's really like one of the best refines, and if you just got this unit, I highly recommend using him as a cav sword unit. Now, let's talk about a couple different ways you can build this character, including a way that I use myself, and a couple others that you could use, or a budget build, okay? So, now again, keep in mind, +2 to all stats here would be what the Resplendent variation of this is, but this build here is one that I sometimes use in the Astra season. Gale Force is not a common strat you use in Aether Raids, but there are some maps where this does work, and when you see a map where you're like, okay, you plan it out, you see how it's going to work, and you know you can get in there and make that Gale Force work, this build here honestly shreds everything he goes against. So let's talk about a little bit about what it does. So first off, let's go with he's initiating combat. You're getting the Swift Sparrow bonus, and you're getting the bonus from Blazing Durandal. So speed-wise, you are getting, let's see, +4, +7, so +11 speed, which is going to bring his speed up to a nice 49. And if he got the bonus from Joint Hone Speed, he gets 5 more, which is going to put his speed at a nice 54. Definitely great doubling range, and even if it isn't, we have the Lull Speed Defense, which decreases the foe's speed even more, almost always 100% guaranteeing a double with Eliwood. Now, a lot of units are going to be able to withstand that first attack that Eliwood has. I opted for the speed buff here because there's a fine line you want to have with Gale Force units where you don't want them to have too much attack. If you kill a unit you're attacking with 1 hit, you don't get your second hit off, you don't get Gale Force. Okay? So because his weapon will allow you to get Gale Force in 2 hits if you have Quick and Pulse, which I do, I want to make sure that I can double on my foe, kill them on the double, and then I get to go again. And then it doesn't really matter if I go again, other than, like, you know, if I dance him or something like that. But as long as the first person I go into attack can survive the first hit, he gets that Gale Force off and goes again. Now, to make this strat work, you do need to partner him with somebody that can come in and help him. So probably another cav unit, maybe with Wings of Mercy. There are a lot of good Gale Force cavalry units in the game you could be using. Groom Marth is surprisingly good. What's her name? Petri, is that her name? the blue lance unit, she's actually a really good one for this. Her weapon is like perfect for Gale Force. But anyways, pair him with a unit that works well with that, and give him a unit with probably Hone Cav. And if you are pairing him with a Hone Cav unit, you can use Hone Cav here instead of Joint Hone Speed. Joint Hone Speed is more of a generic one, where at least he does get the buff as well. And if you don't have a good Cav to go with him, and you maybe use someone else, I forget what her name is, but the Gray Beast unit that actually the partner gets -2 special cooldown charge could be a great partner with him. And because she is not a Cav unit, Joint Hone Speed would actually work really well here to make sure he gets that extra buff, while also being able to work with his partner, giving them the speed buff as well. So, couple different ways you can build this unit, but I think this is a very strong variation of it that will do quite a bit of damage. Now, if you don't want to go with the Gale Force strat, there is something like this. This is more of a player phase strat, and you can alternate some of the things here, but let me talk about why I built it the way I did, okay? So, on your turn, you go to attack. So, you get special cooldown charges. So, Bonfire is going to go off a lot quicker. I believe it's in every 2 attacks you get Bonfire, something like that. But, Bonfire is scaled off to 50% of your defense. Excuse me. So, if you're attacking, you are getting 4 from Sturdy Blow and 10 from Durandal, so plus 14 defense, which puts your defense at a nice solid 42. Half of that is 21. So whatever your damage is plus 21 is what you're going to be doing when Bonfire goes off. You have attack and speed solo. So not only do you get plus 7 speed from his weapon, but you're also going to get plus 6 speed from attack speed solo. 7 and 6 is 13, bringing his speed up to 48. And with lull speed defense, most of the time he is going to be doubling. Again, it's a really important thing to double. I opted for attack on this build because we're going to be going for like the maximum amount of damage possible. And with a boost of 4 from Sturdy Blow and 6 from attack, so plus 10 attack, he will be at 68 attack, not counting buffs from allies. And when Bonfire goes off, you're adding additional 21 damage onto that. It hits hard. And with lull speed defense, it's even harder. So this is a really great nuke build. Now, the problem with a build like this, and I don't recommend it for Aether Raids, because once you go in and do it, unless whatever's gonna be attacking him is like a unit that hits res, that he can survive, maybe a like a green tome user or a green dragon unit, he's gonna have a bad time defensively. He does not have a fantastic defense on enemy phase. So if you're going to use this build, you need a way to get him out, whether that's a dancer, a reposition, whatever it is. This is definitely more of a arena or an Aether Raid defense. This definitely works on Aether Raid defense if you're just looking to get that one kill. You could also substitute this for a Gale Force build that's very similar. In fact, you could even just swap out Bonfire for Gale Force, and it would work. But you would also have to swap out either Sturdy Blow for Quick and Pulse, or have a way to decrease that cooldown charge, special cooldown charge by 1 with something maybe like Legendary Hector on the correct season. There's a lot of different ways you can use this as a defensive build, but this is just one way I envision him being just a strong nuker for like arena, to just make sure he goes in, gets that hit. And keep in mind, all these stats I'm giving you are without the Resplendent boost. So remember, add 2 to everything. So he really does have a gigantic stat line for something like this. But we don't all have a highly invested Eliwood. Maybe you just got your very first one. Now it comes in neutral, but I assume you all have some sort of Eliwood floating around in your barracks. So let's take a quick look. This is like, for a non-merged Eliwood, this is semi-ideal IVs. Now, obviously, if you get this new Resplendent one and you can just, plus an Eliwood, you can get rid of that minus res. And maybe you could offer speed if you're going to go right into that Gale Force build. But if you're not, and you want to just do something that's quick and effective, this is honestly a fantastic way to go in with minimum investment and still doing quite a bit. So first off, we got Fury 3, giving the nice 3 stats to everything. It's going to hurt him by 6, making it so that Desperation is going to happen more often. So Swift Sparrow is just a little bit of a buffer to make sure that you do get those doubles and do a little bit more damage. You could switch Swift Sparrow with Sturdy Blow very easily here. This is so that if before you're in desperation range, you want to make sure you double, you can do something like this. Hone Cav, you just want to make sure that he's on a Cav team so that this does work well with that. Glimmer, you're going to get Glimmer every other combat, so he's going to be doing a nice bit of damage with Glimmer like this. Glimmer is a great thing for him to have, and you could even replace it on the build that I just showed for like that nuke build. It works really, really well here because it just is a nice solid boost to stats, or boost to damage rather, that scales really well off of the buffs that he gets. Excuse me. So, Eliwood, even at a budget, and keep in mind, Resplendent, with the Resplendent buffs, it's even higher, 2 more to everything. He is a fantastic stat line. He's a great red Cav unit. You can use him, I think, really well as an attack unit. He works great as a defense unit. He is just a fantastic all-round unit. He does shine a lot more as a Gale Force unit with a Cav backup that can buff him well, but he does work in a lot of different teams, and as long as you have ways to build with him and have partners that work with him, I think he's going to do quite a bit of damage, do a lot for your teams, and get you a lot of wins. So, that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. I put out videos like this anytime a new hero comes out, Resplendent heroes, legendaries, etc. If you want to follow my thoughts, you can check out my Twitter, linked into my YouTube channel. And keep in mind that I am going to start streaming relatively soon. It's taking me a while to figure out a new way to stream since my old method of streaming stopped working. It started lagging really bad and I needed something more concrete. I found a new way to do it and I will be doing it soon. So please keep that in mind if you're interested. That's also in my YouTube. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you next time.